Assalamu alaikum class. Hope you all are fine. So let's start our today's lecture. That is about life of Jane Austen, her contribution as novelist, and the novel we are going to start is Emma. So before we take the start of novel Emma, we must have the clear idea about the writer, because there is subjectivity in writings of the writers. In any form of genre, whatever they are writing, there must be some of their personal experiences expressed in their writings. So before we take start of any genre of literature, we must have the clear idea about the writer, that which type of life he has spent, which type of experiences he or she has faced, because all the experiences affected the writings of the writers. Same is the case with Jane Austen, as she is the female writer, so she has to face a number of difficulties before writing, even after writing the novels. Now we will start our lecture by life of Jane Austen, as she was born in Hampshire village of Steventon, where her father, the Reverend George Austen, was rector. She was the second daughter and seventh child in a family. Her closest companion throughout her life was her sister Cassandra. Neither Jane nor Cassandra married. They both remained unmarried throughout their lives. Their father was a scholar who encouraged the love of learning in his children. His wife, Cassandra, was a woman of ready wit, famed for her impromptu verses and stories. Means they are she is somehow just writing for her personal interest, or without any proper experience. She just wrote for her own satisfaction. From 1783 to 1785, both the sisters they attended school in Oxford and Southampton, and the Abbey School at Reading. As Austens could not afford very much tuitions and fees, so they read extensively in home, because they have the mindset of learning. They just made up their minds that they are going to learn something. They are because at that time female writers are very females are not very much parents are not very much interested in females writing, females studies. So this is we can say that this was the change in that age, that Jane Austen and her sister, they both are interested in learning, so their family just allowed them to learn something new. But because of their financial conditions, they could not afford fees, they could not afford tuitions, so they have to read extensively in their homes. Why they study in homes? Because their father has interest in books in and he has made library in in his home, so he allowed her daughters to get as much knowledge as they can from the library of their father. She learned from family the French and Italian and how to play piano. They had permission to go to their father's library. The great family amusement was acting. Jane Austen's lively and affectionate family circle provided a stimulating context for her writing. As it's not very much popular of female writing at that time, but because of the family's effect, because because her family was very lively and they are interested in acting, so Jane Austen also took interest in writing, and she started writing, which became very popular with the passage of time. Her experience was carried far beyond Steventon Rectory by an extensive network of relationships by blood and friendship, because they have Austens have number of friends, they have number of relatives, so they have to go to visit them most often. So that is why they have some experiences of outer world as well, because at that time in 19th century it was not easy for women to go outside from the four walls of their houses. But um, with the passage of time, somehow women they are getting this much awareness to ask for their rights to go out from their houses. So they same is the case with Jane Austen, as she they had number of friends, they have number of relatives, so they moved there, they frequently they visit there, and by their this by these experiences they learn a lot from the outer world, and they just expressed their experiences of life in their writings. It was this world of the minor landed gentry and the country clergy in the village, the neighborhood, and the country town. They occasionally visit to Bath and to London that she was to use in the settings, characters, and subject matter of her novels. This is the reason that Jane Austen frequently used Bath and London in her novels as settings and characters who belong to this particular area, and the subject matter is also related to this particular city, and this particular country and this particular area where she just went, because they have not this much exposure, they had not this much exposure to the outer world. So wherever they go, wherever Jane Austen moves, wherever she visits, she tries to pen down all these experiences in her writings, whatever she just observing in that particular place where she moves. She tries to express all those things in her writings in order to make the people aware about their rights, about the lives of common people, that which type of life people are living. In 1802, it seems that Jane agreed to marry Harris Bigwither, the 21-year-old heir of Hampshire family, but the next morning she just changed her mind, as she was not ready to get married. But once she made up her mind, at once in one night she just changed her mind to get married, because she want to live an independent life, a life of freedom, where no one must be there to put restrictions in her life. There are also a number of mutually contradictory stories connecting her with someone with whom she fell in love but who died very soon after. It might be possible that this is the true story, and it might be possible that this is the false story, or just it was just rumor. But it was heard that because of the death of that particular person, she just expressed her romance, her love, and all these types of themes in her writings. Since Austen's novels are so deeply concerned with love and marriage, there is some point in attempting to establish the fact of these relationships. So that is why I just told you earlier that we have to know the clear idea about the writer's life, about his or her experiences, so that we can understand their writings very clearly. Same is the case with Jane Austen, as she had just experienced love in her life, she had experienced proposals in her life, so she expressed the themes of marriage and love mostly in her writings. Almost all of her writings contained this theme of love, marriage, romance, all these types of themes, because she had experienced these things in her life. Unfortunately, the evidence is unsatisfactory and incomplete that whether she had an affair with a person or not, or he she wanted to get married with that particular person or not. This is the unsatisfactory and incomplete evidence. There is no proper satisfactory evidence of this particular experience of Jane Austen's life. Jane Austen's own novels provide indisputable evidence that their author understood the experience of love and of love disappointment. What Jane Austen's own novels provide indisputable evidence that their author understood the experience of love and of love disappointment. This means that when we just read the novels, of Jane Austen's love and disappointments in love, then we might say that she had these experiences in her life, that she expressed these things very well in her novels, that what is the effect of love to the people, and what is the result of just failure in love, which type of disappointments people just face when they just lost their love. So we can say that these are her actually her personal life's experiences that she had expressed in her novels. And this must be true because at that time female writers or females have not this much exposure to the outer world, so they have to write down whatever they are experiencing in their lives. Jane Austen as novelist and her works. Jane Austen is a very early 19th century writer and a woman, so she is in a new world of writers, because previously it was not the common phenomenon that female writers can start writing, but Jane Austen, as she is the female writer, so she had to face number of difficulties, number of troubles in her way of writing, because females writing were not very much acceptable in those days, as according to the male writers, according to the society, females have not this much ability, they have not this much capacity to write, because they had seen nothing in the life, so they could not write this much well, they could not write with full exposure. As a woman, she writes about the plight and conditions of women in England during this time period. What she wrote about? She wrote about the lives of women, about the conditions, about the plights of women, that which type of lives they were spending, and which type of troubles they were facing in that particular age, in that particular era, and what they actually want. The purpose of writing these things, the purpose of writing the plight and conditions of women, is only to make them realize, to make the people, to make the society, to make the women, to make everyone realize that these are the things that women are facing hardly. These are the troubles, these are the difficulties that women are facing in this age. So in order to get these problems resolved, she wrote these things. Most of her novels focus on the topic of marriage and the importance of marriage as a means of financial and social stability for young women. So, why she wrote about marriage and love? Because she has seen these things in her life, that women just want to get married in order to make their future secure. because they want to they want and it is only it can only be secured by marrying with someone who must be financially very strong, who must be very stable person, who can provide each and everything in women's lives to whatever they want. They must be provided with. And if they would not get married, they must become governess in their later age, they must become nuns in the later age. So they, in order to avoid these type of lives, they wanted to get married with a financially strong type of person, so that their future must be secured. Jane Austen lived at a time when novel reading had become one of the major forms of entertainment for the middle classes. And what was the reason of this widely read novel among society? Because before 19th century, writers just wrote about the elite class, about upper class, about the hero that must be from the upper class, who must be near to the perfection. But in 19th century, writers started writing about the middle class, about the lower class, about the problems of which type of problems they were facing in their particular society, in that particular age. And in order to and people just writing about the issues, as well as they are giving the solutions of their problems that they must raise. For example, if they are writing about women who belong to middle class, they gave solutions to the females that they must raise voices against oppression. Similarly, people who belong to middle class, they which type of problems and troubles they are facing with, they must be get out from these troubles by different type of solutions. By writers gave just different type of solutions to the people. So when people of middle class or lower class, they just started reading novels, they can associate themselves with those particular characters in the novels, because writers deliberately used these type of characters who are also representing the middle class, as writers were just inculcating the thoughts of middle class to the middle class problems, and their solutions to the characters the writers are introducing in their literature. Same is the case with Jane Austen, as she was writing about females, she was writing about the issues of females, and what the class difference is there. These types of issues were discussed in her writings, because she just want to make people realize that what is going on, what is happening in their society, and they must be that every problem must be resolved by some reasonable, some wise person. New works were prohibitively expensive to buy, but there were various methods of sharing and borrowing the latest fiction through circulating libraries, subscriptions, libraries, and reading clubs. This was also the problem of before 19th century, that it was not possible for everyone to get the opportunity to read different books, different novels, or different any genre of literature or any type of books, because they were just provided to the people for whom they were writing. But in 19th century, there was some changes happened in that age, that people can these books, these novels, these different forms of literature, they are accessible to the common people as well. Though widely read, the novel's status was not high, because its status was not so much high, because in 19th century it was just start of writing novels, and people were just not this much used to of reading novels, and it was first time in 19th century that novels were written for the middle class or for the lower class. So people were not this much very much ready to accept this change, but with the passage of time they accepted the change, and they just make this form of literature as very as they just gave it a very high status. She was using novel to describe reality and the kinds of people one can felt already knew. This was the very important style of writing, or the theme of writing of the Jane Austen, that she described reality and realism in her novels, as the characters are about the characters, about the setting, whatever she was writing, she just take these things from the very from what is happening in that particular age, from the people who were just described in her novels are the people who anyone can see those people around them, and even when they are reading the novels they can associate themselves with those particular characters, because the characters are very common human beings. Characters are taken from the common society, from lower class, from middle class, so that these people can realize, these people can get aware of their problems and their solutions. The narratives of her heroines play out within the realms of possible. They are set in southern England, in places and a landscape Austen knew well. All the places were those that are once she just Austen just viewed or just have experience of seeing these places. And what was the reason of this? Because she has not this much exposure that she can write, she can discuss about any of the place, any imaginary place, or the place which she just visited once or twice in her life, but she wrote about those particular areas which she has just visited before. As Scott suggested, her plots are minimal, and the adventures her heroines meet with are no more than the experiences of her readers. Preparation for a dance, an outing to the seaside, a picnic, all these experiences were um, can be of any human beings. It must not be must not be the case that these the heroines or the protagonists, they are doing the things that normal or common human beings can never do. But this was not the case. Rather, Jane Austen introduced these types of experiences, these types of activities that every common human being mostly they just had experience of these things, they has just seen these things in their lives, or they must have some experiences of seeing or doing those particular things in their own personal lives. Austen used fiction to describe social reality within her own time and class. The gentry and the professional classes of southern England in early 19th century, because she just trying to express the social reality, that what is going on in that society, what is happening in the society, and which type of uh, problems, which type of troubles, which type of hindrances and restrictions common human beings as well as females were facing at that particular time. By so doing, she was able to introduce something closer to real morality in describing the range of human relationships that we all are likely to encounter in our ordinary lives. That what is happening with the people of her novel, that can be happened with any of the person of society. It means she has just introduced this much reality in her novels that anyone can associate him or herself at any time by reading the novels. What are the themes of her novels? The behavior of parents to their children, that which type of behavior women were showing to parents were showing towards their children. Either it's the strict behavior, or somehow they are showing kind behavior towards their children. The dangers and pleasures of falling in love. So we can say that as she had just saw failure in her love, so she just tried to express this theme in her own novels of making friends, of getting on with neighbors, and above all, of discriminating between those who mean us well and those who may not. We can say that this is the class difference in that particular age. One of the most important themes of her novel is marriage, that it's the need for men as well as women equally. Romance is central in most of her written works, such as in Sense and Sensibility, Pride and Prejudice, Emma, and Persuasion, the name to name a few. The pursuit for true love was often depicted to have passed through a series of turmoil and rejection, of heartbreak and anguish, but love stood victorious in the end. As she had experienced heartbreak, she had experienced this anguish, turmoil, and somehow we can say that she was rejected by her by that particular person. So she was just expressing these things in her novels. What is her style of writing? There is combination of parody, burlesque, irony, free indirect speech, and a degree of realism. These are the very important stylistic characteristics of Jane Austen's novels, that she was just there is the difference of appearance and reality. Whatever she was just describing in her novels, that can be contain some opposite meaning, that can be of there can be the different difference between what is saying and what actually the purpose of that saying is. She uses parody and burlesque for comic effect, as she was just telling the she was just telling a reality, that somehow we can say bitter reality, but in order to give relief to the people, she just added some comic scenes in her novel. Austen extends her critique by highlighting social hypocrisy through irony. She often creates an ironic tone through free indirect speech, in which the thoughts and words of the characters mix with the voice of the narrator. As there is the difference between what is the thought of the characters and what actually they are uttering words, as the writer used irony, so this is the case that she was just expressing the words but that have different meanings. Art of characterization. She is known for having a large cast of characters, as we will see this thing in the novel Emma, that there are number of characters in her novels, usually from the class of the landed gentry, similar to her own background. So it is said that she wrote of what she knew, because she has not this much experience of like male members. She has not seen world very widely. So so we can say that the themes, the whatever she is saying, whatever she is describing, has a limited range, as she was also very well known about her limited range, because she just spent the life of limitations. She just spent the life of remaining in the house. So we can say that this thing is expressed in her novels as well. She's a master of characterization and uses all the elements of the writer's toolbox to create her memorable characters. She is especially good with her use of dialogue as a means of characterization. We can almost hear the characters speaking, and can also use word choice, level of diction, length of sentence, subject of conversation, use of cleverness and humor, use of tone, etc., to play a significant role in our understanding of that character. So we can say that her subject of conversation, the character's subject of conversation, their word choice, their use of cleverness and humor, the use of tone, all these things can be very clearly understood by reading the novels. Can clearly be, we can say that we can see the characters, we can feel the characters that are just expressed in that particular novel. Austen is often considered one of the originators of the modern interiorized novel character, because she has introduced number of things in the novels. She had just introduced a number of experiments in her novels. So we can say that she is an originator of modern interiorized novel character. What are her major works that made her very famous in her particular age? Austen was as she was also always fascinated with stories, and she started writing poems and stories and comic scenes for the amusement of her family in very beginning. In her teen age, she compiled several of the pieces of wrote she wrote between 1787 and 1793 into three bound notebooks, which scholars now refer to as Austen's Juvenilia, because these are the piece of writings that are not very that are not written by a very mature Jane Austen. Rather, they are just her experiences. They are just she was just writing for amusement. So we can say that these are experiments before her proper start of writing. Austen expressed an interest in drama and comedy. She often staged theatrical productions at home with her siblings. This is the, and we can say these are the effects that she started writing, because she had just expressed this type of nature to her family, as family was also very lively. As she continued to experiment with writing, she became adept at parodying the sentimental and gothic style of 18th century. Among Jane Austen's early works is a comic novel with the deliberately misspelled title Love and Friendship, a satire of the history of England, and Lady Susan, an epistolary work. During this time, she also began to sketch out ideas for the novel that would later become Sense and Sensibility. After the end of her brief romance with Lefroy, Austen began work on a second novel called First Impressions, which would later become Pride and Prejudice. After that, Austen began to revise her initial outlines for Sense and Sensibility, developed Northanger Abbey, a satire of the Gothic literary genre. The Austen family resided at Steventon until 1801, when Reverend Austen announced his retirement from the ministry. They then moved to Bath, and Jane was unhappy about leaving her childhood home, which resulted in a sudden decrease in her productivity, because as she was not mentally satisfied, so she was not able to write as she was writing before. During her time at Bath, Austen only made minimal revisions to her draft of Northanger Abbey and started a fourth novel, where, because she was just feeling relaxed at that time, and she just made up her mind to write new things with the passage of time. After George Austen's death in 1805, Jane, her mother, and her sister had to move in with her brother Francis because of their unstable financial position. In 1809, they moved to a cottage of Shorton, where Jane's wealthy brother Edward had an estate. Life in Shorton was much quieter than it would have been in Bath, which gave Jane Austen the opportunity to write more often because she just got that place where she cannot be disturbed, really, where she can write about her experiences, where she can write freely, she can write with freedom. So she started enjoying writing again, and she just started her new novel. While living at Chawton, four of her novels were published anonymously. And what is the reason of anonymous writing? Because at that time it was not easy for women to be for women's writing to be acceptable in the society. So they started writing in with pseudonym, that instead of writing their own names, they started writing the names of their um, any of the male member. These this is the list of the novels that were written when she was living in Shorton: Sense and Sensibility, Pride and Prejudice, Mansfield Park, and Emma. In July of 1816, Austen completed the first draft of her next novel, entitled The Iliads. It would later be published as Persuasion. In early 1816, Austen suffered an onset of illness that culminated in her death the following year. Despite her illness, she continued to write, revising the ending of the Iliads and starting work on Sanditon. She wanted to write a number of books. She wanted to write number of novels before her death. She died at the age of 41 on July 8, 1817, and was buried at the famous Winchester Cathedral. Northanger Abbey and Persuasion were published posthumously in 1817. However, Austen was unable to finish the edition before her death. She was trying hard to finish all her novels, but still her novel Sanditon would remain unpublished, remain incomplete. As with many great authors, Austen died before she gained significant public recognition. Although, and what was the reason? Because she was the female writer. Although her novels were famous with prominent members of British society like Princess Charlotte, the daughter of the Prince Regent. In the 20th century, Austen novels began to attract attention from literary scholars who conducted serious academic studies on her texts. Over the past several decades, there have been more than 200 literary adaptations of Austen's novel, as well as numerous film versions. Introduction of Emma by Jane Austen. What is actually this particular novel is, what is the purpose of writing, which type of themes were discussed in this particular novel by Jane Austen. As we have already read that she had just discussed love, life, marriage, love, romance. These are the themes of her writings. The author explores the concern and difficulties of genteel women living in England. She also creates a lively comedy of manners among her characters. The title character, Emma Woodhouse, is queen of her little community. As she was, somehow we can say there is arrogance and pride in her character. She is lovely and wealthy. She has no mother. Her fussy, fragile father imposes no curbs on either her behavior or her self satisfaction when everyone else in the village is differentially lower in social standing. This is the theme of class difference, that all the time people just compare themselves with one another, that if someone belong to upper class, he or she never want to meet the person who belong to middle or lower class. Only Mr. Knightley, an old family friend, ever suggests she needs improvement, because she always Emma always considers herself as the perfect lady. She has no flaws in her character. She has nothing to be talk about. negatively, so she never listened negative things about her, but it's the Mr. Knightley who all the time who just criticize her because of her behavior, because of her wrong behavior, that whatever she is doing in that particular a village. Emma has taste for matchmaking, and this was the thing that just disturbed number of people's lives, because she was not a perfect matchmaker. Rather, she can only give suggestion, but she was trying to matchmaking almost of all the characters in the novel. When she meets pretty Harriet Smith, the natural daughter of somebody, Emma takes her up as both a friend and a cause. And what cause is? She wants to make Miss Harriet as the lady to be accepted by society. She wants her to be the lady who belong not to lower class or middle class, rather who belong to upper class. She was just ignoring her past, she was just ignoring her birth, rather uh, she was just interested in improvement of her character. Under Emma's direction, Harriet refuses a proposal from a local farmer, Robert Martin, so that Emma can engineer one from Mr. Elton, the vicar. So she was, as Emma, she is under the influence of Emma. Harriet was under the influence of Emma, so she was just taking decisions according to Emma's mindset. Unluckily, Mr. Elton misunderstands the intrigues and believes Emma is interested in him for herself. He cannot be lured to consider Harriet Smith. Things are further shaken by the return to the village by the Jane Fairfax niece to the garrulous Miss Bates, and by a visit from Frank Churchill, stepson of Emma's ex-governess, Miss Taylor, as she was the ex-governess of Emma in the we have just seen that in she was just spent number of years with Emma, but after her getting married, she just made Emma very sad. He and Jane are secretly engaged, but as no one knows this, it has impact on the matchmaking frenzy. The couples are eventually sorted out, if not according to Emma's plan, at last to her satisfaction. Uninterested in marriage at the book's beginning, she happily engages herself to Mr. Knightley before it ends. So we can say that there is as we have already read that there is irony in this in the novels of Jane Austen, and this irony, all these, the difference between appearance and reality, what reality is, all these things can be seen very clearly in this particular novel.